Good morning, YouTube. Welcome to the Reptile Barn. It is time to cut Voltra's clutch. She is our Volta ball python. For those of you who don't know, that is a locality ball python, basically. The Volta mountain range in Africa is known for exceptionally large ball pythons. That is the lineage that this snake comes from. We have 9 eggs here. She was bred to a couple of males. The one we think is the dad, though, is Onyx, the GHI Enchi yellow belly. So all these will be half Volta blood, which is pretty cool. Here we go. Get this off. Now, the reason I'm cutting these before any of Pip, which I don't hardly ever do, is because I left them all in a pile, and I am paranoid that one's stuck underneath. Like, there's one that's almost entirely buried. You can see just little bits of it. If he were to cut just up into the next egg because he's ready for oxygen, theoretically he could drown still. So I really, the chances of that seem tiny, but I'm just gonna be cautious and cut these just because I don't want that to happen. So I normally don't do this. We're at day 50, I think right on day 55. So these should all be perfectly well developed. Eggs look perfect. I'm just going to go ahead and do that. And I'm by myself, so it's going to be a little choppy, but let's get to it. So here is the first egg. And they come apart easily at this point because they're ready to hatch. All right, here's the first egg. So let's cut it open. All right, so this is just a nice GHI, I think. Don't think it's yellow belly. I guess maybe it could be Enchi. I'm not really sure. That's the first egg. Egg number 2 coming right up. Looks like a nice normal. One cool thing I wanted to point out, if the camera will pick it up properly, is do you see those veins? So those veins run on the inside part of the shell. I was having a discussion with a friend of mine about cutting eggs, just in general, and how people more rarely will cut the smaller species, like the tiny lizard species and stuff like that. But it's pretty common to cut larger, like, pythons and whatnot, the eggs. And those veins that you're seeing that run on the inside of the shell and all the way to the yolk and then eventually into the snake's umbilical. Those veins, if you have a large egg like this and you cut one of those veins and a couple drops of blood come out, the baby's fine, right? It's such a tiny, tiny, tiny percentage of their blood. They're completely fine. And obviously, they don't feel pain. These aren't veins inside their body. You're not cutting their flesh or anything. So they're fine. I suspect that on a smaller animal, a little, say a crested gecko egg or something, that if you weren't careful and you really cut open one of those veins, a couple drops of blood to an animal that tiny is a lot higher percentage of the blood that they have available. And I would guess that makes it a little more dangerous than, say, for a ball python, or certainly something larger like a reticulated python or something. Just my guess, but I suspect that is the case. Anyway, here is egg number 3. This one I'm pretty confident saying is just a GHI, and it's also 50% Volta. I think this one's making me think that that first one might actually be a GHI Enchi, just because that one has a lot more banding than this one does, which is sometimes an Enchi thing. And neither of them looks the same color as the dad, which is why I think they're not yellow belly. So there's egg number 3. Now let's get this guy off the top. Here is egg number 4. Looks like maybe a yellow belly. Really nice flames. I don't think that's a normal. The mom, certainly, Volta, she doesn't really have flames like that, so I don't think it's just, occurring because of that. I think that might be a yellow belly. It will help to see lower down the sides, but that's my guess for now. Set you down. Again, these will be 50% Volta, and I don't mean 50% like pos het Volta. It's not a Mendelian trait, you know, with recessives and dominant and all that. They will be half Volta blood. So it works more like, you know, the Superdorfs, where if you breed a Superdorf retic to a mainland retic, the babies are going to be halfway in between. They're not going to be possible het for Superdorf. They're partly Superdorf, if that makes sense. So when I say 50% Volta, I mean these are all guaranteed half Volta. Anyways, here is the next egg, number 5, I think. This one looks like the dad, a lot more color, a lot of banding. I suspect this is the GHI Enchi Yellow Belly. There's a tiny bit of yolk you can see up here at the top, so I'm just going to leave this one alone, let her absorb the rest of that. Move on to egg number 6. There's that classic GHI pattern. And the darkness, oh, so beautiful. I think that's just a GHI. I don't think it's Enchi. Don't think it's Yellow Belly. Maybe Yellow Belly, but definitely not Enchi. I shouldn't say that. I'm not a pro at this. I don't think it's Enchi. But obviously GHI. That's a very easy one to detect in almost every combo. Let's go on to egg number 7. I think 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Looks like an Enchi. Maybe an Enchi Yellow Belly. Nice pretty color. Big wide eye stripes. That's egg number 7. Man, look at that super cool vein complex inside the shell. I'm so fascinated by that. So it got GHI in it, and I think it's a Yellow Belly. I don't think it's... sorry, I'm just trying to open it up a little more to see, but... GHI Yellow Belly would be my guess. On to the last, 9th egg. Yet another... I'm going to say... GHI Yellow Belly, I believe. Really, really cool. The GHI was strong with this clutch. 1 GHI, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, it's dark in a lot of these. 5. Okay, 5. Oh, wait. 6. 6. Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 out of the 9 are GHIs, and there's a lot of other stuff going on too. Very, very beautiful. All of them are going to be nice and big, healthy animals due to that Volta blood. I do get people every once in a while that ask for a female specifically because they want a bigger snake. All of these, even the males, will be larger than normal just because of that Volta blood. That's always exciting. So if you've ever been interested in the Volta trait, look me up. And we're excited to see these guys out of the egg, and then you'll get another update at that point. But until then, thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, we're the Reptile Barn.